Yeah, I'm in the game trying to level up. Yeah, I'm in the game trying to level up. Yeah, I'm in the game trying to level up. These other haters, man, they trying to settle up.
Hello and welcome to the 19th episode of Ninja Talk. This episode will be discussing not just Suicide Squad, the Suicide Squad, comparing and contrasting both movies. Before we get into that, I just want to say DC is out here killing the game. I'm just saying, they did Batman Long Halloween. They came out with Suicide Squad. Titan season 3 is lit. I'm just saying.
Where? Is it the full season? Is it the full season or is it just one episode right now?
Three episodes.
Word?
Yeah, they're doing that weekly release.
I
keep you coming back, bro. Them breadcrumbs.
My name is Mike, and I'm here with my co-host Eric.
Hey, what's going on, y'all?
And Carl.
What's good?
Without any further delays, let's get into it. So we all seen both movies. Starting with the new movie, what are y'all overall takes?
Go ahead, Carl. I know you bitching.
This guy said that. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. When I first watched the 2016 movie, I thought it was garbage. I watched it, I think, in like 2017, maybe 2018. But I went back and watched it, and I was like, okay, yo, this is actually pretty decent. I would more rather the 2016 movie over the 2021 one. Only because the 2016 one was more serious. Like, I feel like there was too much moments in the 2021 version because like there were like too many like joking moments, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't get me wrong, everybody likes a good comedic relief, but I feel like it was too much. Like, it was funny, but that part in the beginning when they're trying to determine what the weasel was. He's like, oh my gosh, are you a werewolf? He's like, oh my gosh, I don't F with werewolves. That had me rolling, but the whole entire time I'm like, yo, what is it then? Like, what is he? Like, what? Yo, why is he on a mission with y'all? But there was other like comedic reliefs, and it was actually very interesting that they made a movie that kind of like satirical with John Cena and Idris Elba, because you didn't expect two like A-listers to be like willing to do something like a satirical type movie. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So over. Yeah, sorry. Go ahead. Ask the question.
I find it funny that you said that it's too funny, but you love Thor Ragnarok and Guardians of the Galaxy. Mind you,
I see what you're saying. I see what you're trying to get at.
Mind you, the director is the same director from Guardians of the Galaxy.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Bro, you didn't know that?
I did not know that. I did not know that at all, bro.
Bro, I'm gonna be 100 with you. Like, why you was saying that? I was like, bro, like I said that exact same thing in my head. Like, bro, this is James Gunn. He made and directed, freaking Guardians of the Galaxy. So,
yo, that makes mad sense now, because like I was reading somewhere online where they were like, Idris Elba laughed at the fact that he was playing Heimdall with Marvel and then came to DC to play Bloodsport. I was like, okay, damn. And then they both talking about Jotunheim and whatnot. I was like, okay, damn, that's a really crazy comparison. But now that y'all mentioned it's the same producer, I'm like, oh shoot, damn, now that makes sense.
That's funny.
Maybe I was watching it like really early in the morning, so I was like kind of like half tired, so I probably wasn't really in the mood to be like laughing and whatnot. So that's probably why I'm saying that.
Nah, I feel you. I feel you.
You feel how you feel, bro. I'm not judging. I'm just saying.
Go ahead, Eric.
Oh, I mean, honestly, I kind of feel like the opposite of Carl.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like I was watching a James Gunn movie. Like, just that way everything was set up. It's like, dude, you can tell like he brought like his fantastic style he had in the first Guardians movies and just pretty much carried it over with a new set of characters. You know, a little bit gorier. That with that rated R, rated R rating. So I mean that definitely helped. So yeah, it's good. Don't get me wrong, I loved first Guardians of the Galaxy. Just a good amount of comedy and serious-ishness. Fucking dance off to save the universe. Like who does it? But yeah, that was done well. The latest version we got. Like, I think it kind of knew what it was trying to be going in, like this gritty but badass / comedy going in. So it just felt like, we know what we're doing. Here it is, and you're gonna enjoy it. Versus the 2016 version.
Yeah.
It seemed a little forced. Not gonna lie. Some of the character placements are kind of weird. Katana, for one. El Diablo's whole demeanor towards the team. That was a little weird. I mean, Rick Flag was great in both. Enchantress.
Nah.
I think that was a miss for me. Not gonna. I mean, don't get me wrong. Cara Delevingne. Yes. Enchantress. No. Not. It was not fun to look at. Just saying. Harley was great in both. Of course. Felt like Deadshot and Harley kind of carried the movie.
Yeah. Of course.
Killer Croc.
I didn't like the way they did Killer Croc.
No.
Yeah.
Like, I was hoping.
But I mean, you gotta look at it this way. It's either the way they did it, like, the way they came out in final production versus doing it in like a CGI and just like demolishing it. So it's like, you gotta weigh your options,
Right. I see what you're saying.
But I'm kind of curious to see, like, if they could have pulled it off better with the CGI. But, I'm not knocking what we got. It is what it is. But overall, I mean, I think I got to give it to the 2021 version.
I feel you.
Word.
Just in terms of like plot and like storytelling wise and directing, of course.
True. All right. So I watched the 2016 version in theaters, and I haven't rewatched it since until last night. And I remember going to the movies and liking the 2016 version. I just didn't like Joker's role. Like, I don't even think he should have been in the movie, except like some flashbacks of Harley and then like breaking her out. I felt like the extra scenes he got were kind of forced. But I was watching it on HBO Max, and I feel like they got rid of some of those scenes. I feel like he had way more scenes in the theater version. Or I don't know, I just wasn't paying attention or what. But I feel like the HBO Max version is a little bit more edited or something. I might be tripping. But I forgot, like, the 2016 version is a solid movie. Like, people act like it's straight trash, like it's Green Lantern bad. Like, damn, why did they even come out with this? Like, damn.
Nah, it's not even close to being on that level. That is terrible.
But I remember like last night I was like, all right, I'm gonna just put it on and watch it in the background kind of thing. And then I kept looking up like, oh snap, like I was into the movie again, like, oh damn, oh Deadshot did that, like, oh snap. Like I don't even know which version I prefer anymore, but my initial reaction was give it to the newer version. But I definitely love Will Smith at Deadshot.
Yeah, for sure.
I agree.
Yeah, no, he definitely did a good job playing that role.
But I think the newer version has an overall better cast of characters. And of course, it's rated R, which made it a lot better. So I give the 2021 like maybe like a slight edge over the old one. Mainly because of Joker. Like we did not need the Joker in the first movie at all. Like I try to tell people that, people are like, nah, Joker needed more scenes. I'm like, no, he didn't. Trust. No, he didn't.
I mean,
it's called Suicide Squad.
I agree with you. Like, I mean, it didn't really serve too great a purpose to the overall movie. So I think the amount of scenes that he got was, I mean, maybe a little too much, but I mean, it was fine. Mm-hmm. You know, like I said, it's not like he served like this higher purpose. Maybe like, you know, kind of connect the worlds, the movies a little bit, but
yeah,
we don't really need that. We kind of just care about the Suicide Squad at the moment. Like nothing else matters.
Facts. And I will say that Jared Leto did his best with what he could. Like he didn't write the script, bro. Like I don't know who wrote that script or whose idea it was to make Joker some gangster clown prince of crime or what. I don't think that was Jared Leto's idea. That was definitely someone else's idea. Has to be.
Yeah, I was thinking the same. I was thinking the same thing with the way they did Killer Croc, because I was thinking to myself, like, wait, isn't Killer Croc like a scientist? Like when he made his demands at the end of the movie, he's like, what are some stuff that y'all want? Like any other demands? He's like, oh, I want BET. What?
Yeah,
bro,
that was
aren't you
funny.
like a scientist?
That was hilarious. I'm like, I thought I misheard that. I was like, wait, what?
If I want to go betting, what? VET?
Man really said VET, bro. That was hilarious. And I'll have to say, Viola Davis, hands down, fantastic casting.
Definitely.
She did a great job.
Both.
Yes.
I liked her more in the second one because it really showed like this very like dark justice type of side of her. Like do whatever is necessary to keep the country safe.
Right.
And I was like, damn, yo, she's like an evil genius. What the heck? Like she was threatening these dudes. Like, yo, she pulled out homeboy's daughter. Like, yo, I'm getting in your head with your kid. Yo, your kid's about to end up in jail and she could end up right here. And if I don't use you, I'll just use her. I'm like, damn, bro. She on some evil stuff, bro, but in a good way.
Yeah, she was definitely more ruthless, I think. But there's that one scene in the first one where she like annihilates like a bunch of FBI agents. I'm like, oh damn.
Oh yeah, that part was crazy too.
Like,
I mean the part where they like reach her in the building, go to extract her. She's like, all right, everyone, you know, whatever, just like capping people.
Yeah,
that was crazy,
bro. And we're the villains. Okay. Well, I was like, damn.
Oh, they didn't have the classification to know this knowledge. Oh, damn. Just like that. Yeesh.
Man, she's no joke. She's no joke. And like you said, definitely a perfect casting for sure.
Remember the part about when she mentioned to, I think it was in the 2016 movie where she mentioned the U.S. Marines paid off the mafia to protect the waterfronts during World War II. I thought that stuff was bogus. I looked into that crap. Like that, it was called Project Underworld or something like that. I was like, damn. So it's like, having learned that, I really began to think to myself with like everything that was going on in both movies and how these villains got to saw like the dark side of Amanda Waller and, you know, just all the crazy stuff that the government was doing. I was just like, damn. So technically, really, we're all on a one-track mind. You know what I'm saying?
What do you mean by that?
One-track mind as in like, they did what they did. They're considered villains.
Yeah.
Just as Amanda Waller and the military and U.S. government, they did what they did, but it's looked as just. You feel me? So it's like a one-track mind, but at the end of the day, it's like they got caught. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, that I found that part interesting too. Like, I didn't, because you know they don't teach you that in history class. They don't.
They really don't.
Oh yeah.
Of course they wouldn't, bro.
The U.S. paid the mafia to, you know, help out on the waterfront. But as soon as she said it, I believed it. I was like, yeah, that makes sense.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
Yeah, I wouldn't put it past them.
Man. I like the whole, in the second movie, the whole idea of the mission of like, okay, we're doing this to keep secrets safe, basically. Like, we don't want people to know the U.S. involvement in this, because that's 100% believable.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
100%. Shady stuff be going on in the government and the military that we never hear about.
Exactly. I will probably never hear about it.
Yeah, we probably got some madness locked up somewhere. You don't know.
Yeah, that would be crazy.
Routine.
That would be crazy. Oh, that's another thing I want to mention. So remember, in the 2016 movie, when she was presenting Enchantress, Amanda Waller was introducing Enchantress to the U.S. military, and she made her fetch like some like war plans of another country. And then they're like, yo, we've been trying to get a hold of this for years. How did she just get in like seconds?
Yep.
That's another thing. That's real. Like, there have been like unclassified projects that have been performed by the FBI, CIA, whatnot, of using like stuff like astral projection to retrieve.
Hold on. Disclaimer, not to get off topic. Continue.
Oh no, it's not. It's still on topic. Because we're talking about the movie.
Yeah, go ahead.
But there has been some unclassified like information about the CIA, FBI using like people who are into like astral projection and stuff like that to retrieve information about other countries, like intel from other countries, and bring it back to them so that they can use it for their, you know, military advantage.
Right.
So it was kind of interesting. They brought that part up. I was like, oh shoot, that's crazy. I was actually talking to one of my boys about that.
You sound like you're gonna be like the intelligent operator or something.
Nah.
Like, all right, we're gonna get the intelligence from here, and here. Let's go.
Speaking of Enchantress, I didn't really like her in the first movie that much. Just like her whole concept, all of it, really. Like, as the main villain, I thought she was too much, like too powerful, number one. So it's like, I have a hard time believing this group of people beat her and her brother, mind you. So I felt like the stakes were too high in the first movie. Like she was over here ready to take over the world. So as you're watching this movie, you're kind of like, all right, so where's the real heroes at? If there's this big threat, like where is Flash? Where is Batman? At this point in time, Superman is dead. So obviously he's not showing up. Where's Wonder Woman? Like, where are these heroes? Nah, we let the Suicide Squad handle that. So I feel like the stakes were too high in the first movie, whereas like the second movie, it was like, okay, just go destroy some records. You know what I'm saying? That made way more sense. Like, okay, that's definitely a Suicide Squad mission.
Better plot.
Yeah. And
stay true. Good.
And the whole reason she even turned evil was because she got mad at Amanda Waller. Basically, she got mad during that scene where Amanda Waller's like flexing her power to the military, and then she was like, "Nah, forget this." So it's like,
I got you hot.
I mean, it only seems right. You know what I'm saying? Like, you out here flexing, like, yo, look what I can do with these villains. And then, like, wait, what? Do you know who I am?
So I didn't really like how that progressed into being like the villain of the movie. I'm like, wait, what? So this could have all been avoided had Amanda Waller not flexed Enchantress like that. You know what I'm saying? Like she was just chilling, like, oh, okay, she's sharing this body with the doctor. She was chilling, she was good. And then Amanda Waller pissed her off.
Yeah, I'm like, yo, so you gonna pretend like you own me? Like, nah, we're not having that. Bam, plot of the movie. There we go.
Maybe that part could have been played off a little bit better.
Probably.
Yeah, I think maybe that part could have been executed a little bit better. Because what it seemed like was like she was pulling everybody's strings. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. She knew to get Rick Flag involved with her because she knew he would fall in love with her, and that would give her control over like the military, like the U.S. military, because he was like one of the best, secret operatives or something like that.
Yeah.
So when she got a hold of them, she's like, yo, I got your boy. So, I mean, she might as well listen to my plan now. And they're like, nah, you got us. You got us. But I feel like her mistake was putting too much trust in villains. You know what I'm saying? That's where Enchantress kind of did her thug thizzle. It's like she put too much trust in villains. What do you expect? They're villains. They're going to turn on you.
I wouldn't say it was trust. I would say it was her overconfidence.
Yeah.
That she could control the Enchantress. That was her undoing. So she thought she was big, Big Diesel. She wasn't. She just wasn't. Like she bet too much, and she wasn't even in the pool. You know what I mean? So that was her undoing. I saw that coming a mile away. I was like, oh, so this is how we're gonna do things? Okay. Okay.
She's narcissistic, I guess.
Low key, high key.
And they don't mention her at all. Her being Dr. Moon, I think her name was, in Suicide in the second movie. I mean, like that's Rick Flag's, love interest. They don't even mention her.
Me, mama.
Oh wow.
But yeah, that's my two biggest things wrong with the 2016 version. Enchantress as a villain and the way they use Joker. I think that definitely dropped the movie a couple notches, but I feel like everybody hated the Joker in the first movie to the point where like they considered the whole movie trash when in reality he only had like 10 minutes of screen time.
Yeah.
And it's like, yo, you're really gonna hate the whole movie because of this dude's 10 minutes. It's kind of like Batman versus Superman. That whole Martha scene brings down the entire movie for everybody. I'm like, bro, that was 30 seconds. What about everything else that happened?
Well, see, I mean, I'm mad because they use that as like a plot device, to, like steer things. I'm like, bro, are you kidding me? I'm like, bro, so you're telling me all this wound up happening because their mothers share the same freak. Like, I'm done. No, that's just no.
Oh man.
I mean, I think Batman versus Superman definitely deserves that hate for sure. I'm just saying.
I think if you revisit it, you'll be like, you know what? That's not that bad,
bro. No, nah. The fact that they lean so heavily on that, like this is why X, Y, and Z happens now. Like, you know, nope, you're done. I'm done. One watch. That's it. No more. I'm done.
What was y'all's favorite scene in the newest movie?
So I'm gonna go. Gonna sound messed up. One of my favorite scenes is the death of the detachable kid. Bro, so tell me why, like, on the plane, they're like, TDK, what does that stand for? He's like, oh, it's me. And, you know, they land on the beach or whatever. Homeboy keeps his powers under wraps. This last second, like, go. I'm all right. Always about to, like, explode into, like, mini pieces or whatever and start attacking people. Homie's already detached. He's, like, slapping him.
Power was garbage.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out how did he become a villain. Like,
what you gonna do against those guns?
Facts.
I was like, oh my god, that's freaking awesome. That's awesome. Like one of my favorite scenes. And then he's like freaking reeling in pain as they're like shooting his arms. Like,
but while we're on this beach scene, real quick, have y'all saw the conspiracy theories?
Nah.
They're saying Amanda Waller purposely sent Team One and told homie, I forget his name, but told homie to contact the other side and betray them so that they all get wiped out there, and so that Team Two can infiltrate the island easily.
Wow.
I kind of thought that the whole time. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, that's savage. But that sounded like something she would do.
For sure.
So I was like, all right, I guess that was kind of the purpose of all these like trash characters on Team One.
But it would have got Rick Flag killed and Harley Quinn.
I mean, they were skilled enough to avoid said death.
She can't predict that.
Come on, bro. You already know the answer to that. Plot armor. Come on.
That's
Be
true.
real.
That's true. Once I saw Harley Quinn in this movie, I was like, oh, of course.
Plot armor, bro. Like, all right, they're gonna somehow magically survive the beach and then meet up with Team Two. We're all gonna kick it off, and you know that's when the party starts. It's
hilarious.
I didn't like how they did King Shark.
No?
I thought that was okay.
Cause like, I guess the reason why I didn't like the way they did him is because I was watching The Flash, and they did him a lot better in The Flash. You know, homie looked more like, you know, a human, I guess. I mean, it's not to say he didn't look like a human, but it made him look like an animation.
Right.
Whereas in in the Flash, the CGI was a lot better. Like, you know what I'm saying? Dude looked more like human-like, and you know what I'm saying? Dude was like at least 9 feet tall or something like that. That seems more reasonable for King Shark, especially like when you watch like the animated series a little bit bigger. Like me first learning about King Shark was from the Justice League where they fight Darkseid and a pair of demons and whatnot. And that's my first time like encountering King Shark. So like thinking in my head, like, okay, this dude's the tallest one on the team, strongest one on the team, impenetrable. And in the Flash, he was an ex scientist. Well, he is a scientist, but it's like, so he kind of had the brains to kind of be a bad guy. But in this one, they made him retarded. Like, excuse me for like being vulgar in the way that I said it, but you know what I'm saying? Like,
bro. That was ruthless, bro.
Excuse me for the way that I said it, but it's just the way they made it. They made it like homie couldn't think for himself, man. I was just like, damn, bro. Like, no offense to nobody or anything like that. Like, I don't mean it in any like ill intention or anything like that. It's just the way they did King Shark. I was like, I wasn't really feeling it. I mean, there was a couple funny scenes, but I was just like, damn, like they really. Why is he even on the team?
Nah, I feel you. I think they were kind of, knowing it's directed by James Gunn, I think he was trying to recapture that magic with Groot. So I think that's what he was trying to do. But they have King Shark on this Harley Quinn series, the animated series. And he is the funniest character on that show. like he's a clown, like a total clown. So I'm kind of used to that. So when I saw him in the movie, I wasn't really expecting anything out of him. Oh, man. But nah, I feel
that series is hilarious.
Oh, you seen it?
Yeah.
Oh,
I gotta go check it out.
Yeah. HBO Max, of course.
Of course, bro. Of course.
I've been just like binging all these DC shows. I just finished Static Shock.
Oh, word.
Oh,
Yeah.
Static Shock, the animated version?
Yeah.
I gotta rewatch that, bro.
That thing was ahead of its time, bro. I'm like, damn, this is that good?
Like, bro, what do we say? The DC animated universe don't miss. They don't miss.
I heard they're rebooting Static Shock, so yeah. I'm waiting for that one.
Yeah, there should be a live action.
That's the thing. Like, I want to see it in live action. I do, but it's like, what are we gonna get? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what to expect. That kind of scares me.
I feel you.
Because I don't want some kind of CGI mess. You know what I mean? Like bro, just like it's the kind of mess that kind of just makes you want to get up and leave the theater if you're in said theater. Like, I just don't want another one of those.
Man.
You know what I mean? So I don't know.
I think Michael B. Jordan's name was attached to it as a producer. So I trust him. But yeah, Carl, what was your favorite scene in Suicide Squad?
Besides that werewolf scene, bro, that gotta be number one for me. Because that crap was mad funny. Like, I kept rewinding that, bro. I was like, yo, what kind of dog is he? I'm gonna guess an Afghan hound.
They were like, yo, no one thought to check if he could swim.
And homie just died.
Nah, he didn't die. He came back to life, bro.
Came back to life at the end.
Yeah.
Now the part when they were like, Rick Flag was like, he's a weasel. Calm down. He's harmless. Well, technically he's not because he killed 27 children.
Bro said it like all nonchalant. Well, yeah, he killed 27 children. Well, okay.
Nah, but besides the scene with Weasel, bro, I don't know what other scenes I could have said that was my favorite, honestly. Yeah, I don't think I have any other scenes.
All right.
I didn't really like their selection of villains. Some of them were kind of whack to me. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like whoever John Cena was playing was whack. That rat chick was whack. Like
I like
that's the
rat
worst power
chick.
ever. Like I was trying to figure out how did half of these guys end up in jail? Like, damn, you went to jail for messing with rats? Like, damn.
But for me, my favorite scene was definitely the Harley Quinn breakout. That whole sequence from her hanging and using like gymnastics to suffocate this dude, to shooting up a whole room full of people. And then she gets outside and they're trying to break her out. And she's like, what are y'all doing? That whole sequence of events was dope. I love that.
Yeah, that was dope.
That's true Harley Quinn, honestly.
That's true.
Honestly.
And then the whole entire time she's trying to figure out what to do with the javelin. I know why I was selected for this javelin. What? Homie probably was just talking just to talk.
Talking some stupid ish, right? After he's dying.
Only you're worthy to carry my javelin. What? Homie was just shooting his shot. How you die and you still shooting your shot? That's how you know the grind don't stop.
Gotta go out when I'm blazing glory. Like shit, I'm dying anyway, bro. What you doing after this? You know what I mean?
Facts.
Did you guys prefer Deadshot or Bloodsport? It's kind of the marksman / leader of the team.
I was just gonna ask, what did y'all think about the switch up between Deadshot and Bloodsport?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Carl. What you think?
That's a tough one, man. I'm gonna be honest with you, because you got two great actors. You got Will Smith and you got Idris Elba. Like, I like both of them, to be honest. I think I'm gonna go with Will Smith more, just because when it comes to like action movies, most movies, like I'm just more used to him as I am to Idris Elba. I haven't seen too much movies with Idris Elba, so it felt more at home seeing Will Smith than it did with Idris Elba. Okay. You know what I'm saying? But I love both of their characters. I'm just gonna have to go with Will Smith.
All right. I mean, I don't know. It's tough because let's be real. I mean, they're kind of basically the same character, just with minor detail tweaks.
Right.
I was gonna say, I think the movie even makes a joke about that, but they did it between Bloodsport and Peacemaker. Like, you're just me with the same powers. I think that.
Are you having a laugh? He basically does what I do.
Yeah.
But I mean, basically, at least with the 2021 version, you get two for the price of one. One being, Deadshot, and two being Peacemaker and Bloodsport. But I don't know. I don't know. So I think Bloodsport's costume and his weapons and accessory, I like those more than I did Deadshot's. Okay. But as the leader of the team and the character, I'm gonna have to give it to Deadshot for sure. Deadshot, because one, my boy Will Smith, ride or die. And I just think he made it his own, and he knocked it out of the park. I'm not saying he interested in the bad because he did. He did a good job. I'm just leaning more towards like Deadshot.
I feel you. I even wonder, like, was Deadshot supposed to be in this movie? And then, like, Will Smith couldn't do it or something. And they were like, all right, well, let's go with a new character. Because I feel like you could have literally just put Deadshot in that movie and the script is the same. The whole thing, even with the whole thing with the daughter, like, you could have, like, Deadshot had a daughter in the first movie. Like, it could have been, I feel like it was the same thing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I wonder, I
agree.
I didn't research it yet, but I feel like, I wonder if something like that happened.
I feel like I heard a few different things. I didn't know what was solid and what wasn't, but I think there was like a scheduling conflict and he was working on something else while
Sounds
this was
about
going
right.
on or something. Like, it might have been like Gemini Man or something. I don't know. But yeah, so it was scheduling conflicts. So he couldn't be in this movie. So that's why they grabbed a different character and introduced Idris Elba as Bloodsport.
Got you.
Question.
Yep.
Yeah.
So now this is for both movies. There's a few characters that are actually superheroes, but how did they end up in prison? Like, in Bel Rev as villains. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know Katana's is not a villain. Weasel wasn't a villain, and Peacemaker's not a villain. So it was like,
Peacemaker is a villain.
I was looking into it. Supposedly he's a superhero. But in the movie he's a villain. So I was just trying to figure out, maybe, like, was there another adaptation of him where they portrayed him as a villain and then that's how he ends up in Bel Rev? You know what I'm saying? Because the Katana thing threw me off with the 2016 movie. I was like, what is she doing on the Suicide Squad? Because, like, I know she was one of the founding members for the Outsiders. So it was like, Outsiders is a superhero team. So I was trying to figure out, like, how, what was the situation going on? Like, how did she end up in Bel Rev? Well, technically she wasn't arrested. But she still wanted to fight alongside with them.
Right.
With the Suicide Squad. So I was just kind of trying to figure out, why would she want to join sides with a villain team? You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah. I was curious about that too. Because there's this Batman animated series I brought up one time called Beware the Batman. And Katana is actually the sidekick of the show. And I didn't make the connection before, but when I saw her in Suicide Squad, I was like, oh, that's the same Katana from the animated series. Yeah, I don't understand why she was there. I don't remember if they said it, why she was on the mission, but I gotta feel that she loved to kill, so maybe she killed somebody.
Wow.
Whether it was,
she killed her husband.
No, she took the revenge on her husband's killer, probably. Something like that.
Because out in 2016 version, when they were getting ready to fight the final battle, she was talking to the sword because her husband's sword was in there.
Yeah, but I don't think she's the one that killed him. Because that same sword shows up in the animated series. And I was like, oh, I get it now.
Say less. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure why she was in the 2016 version. I mean, I know Rick Flag said she was like backup, but like, I don't know, like, could have picked anybody as backup. Why her? Like, specifically, but why her? You know what I mean? Like, out of everybody could have chose.
Right.
But like, she didn't really fit. She's kind of just thrown in there, kind of like pretty up the roster somehow. You know what I mean?
Fan service, little. Like, oh, let's
Yeah.
bring in this character everybody's familiar with, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I mean, they probably was like choosing characters and was like, all right, let's turn Peacemaker into a villain. He was kind of like almost an anti-hero, maybe.
Yeah.
He was like, okay, no. Like, we got to stick to the mission. We're destroying this record. To keep the peace. So is he a villain? Maybe.
Right. She was like, why are you even still trying to kill me? He goes, because I'm thorough. What? Oh shit.
I mean, he's not lying.
Yeah. Now, because there's a couple more characters too. Like Savant is also considered a superhero. And then I know King Shark and Constantine had a relationship together in the comics. So it would just seem kind of weird for Constantine to be in a relationship with a villain. You feel me? Because he's considered a good guy. Right. He's a superhero, right? Or is he an anti-hero?
He's more of a hero, yeah.
Yeah, so it would just be kind of weird to see a superhero in a relationship with a villain. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like your objectives are not really the same.
I mean, you see heroes and villains hook up all the time, though.
Yeah, but like they had a full-blown relationship. You know what I'm saying? Like couple, like for a couple like issues of like, serious. Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah, no, that's interesting though. I was gonna say, Batman and Catwoman, but then again, she's more of like an anti-hero. She's kind of on both sides, so I let that one slide. But
right, no, I feel you though. Yeah, I think bottom line, they probably just did it for the plot.
Yeah, maybe that's probably it.
We gotta write a story.
Remember when she was installing the bombs in the back of their skulls?
Yeah.
Or like in the side of their necks? My thing is, for someone like King Shark, like someone invincible like King Shark, or like Killer Croc, would that even work? Like when she tries to detonate the bomb, would that even work? Would that even blow off their heads? Like, because it's like, let's just say she put in like someone like Superman. Would that really blow off his head? Would it even work? You know what I'm saying? You get what I'm asking, right?
No, I feel you. I think if she got it to penetrate their skin, I think it would work. Like, I don't think, obviously that's not penetrating Superman's skin unless you use kryptonite, but if she got that bomb in them somehow, I think it's gonna work. Yeah,
which it might be destructible on the outside, but not so much on the inside.
Right.
Makes sense. Makes sense, my guy.
One of my my other favorite scenes in the movie is when you know how Fly gets kidnapped, like from the beach or whatever.
Yep.
And then the team 2 has to go save him.
Yeah.
And they end up killing like all of the rebel. But most of the rebel soldiers.
No, that was
and they
dope.
bust in that. And they bust in the house. Ah! They just been like, we came here to save you. And we might have just killed all you rebel soldiers out front. Sorry about that.
Nah, that's a great scene. I like that whole battle they had between Bloodsport and Peacemaker. It was like, all right, oh, you got that? Now watch me snipe. Oh, all right, now watch
everything
this.
to a freaking competition.
Yeah.
Okay, who can kill the best? Like, boom. Oh, that was good. Hold my soda. You know what I mean? Well, that was also entertaining to watch. But that's what I'm saying. Like all like that competition and like the jokes in it, it didn't feel forced. It felt natural. Between those two characters. You know what I mean? Because of their personalities. And when they, share that spotlight, like, yo, they're freaking hilarious here. Like,
yeah, I feel you.
I was surprised when they killed off John Cena. I was like, damn, they killed off important character pretty much.
Yeah,
it's like,
well, he's alive at the end.
Yeah, I think he's not dead.
He lives.
Yeah.
You didn't watch the post-credit scene?
Oh, I didn't get that.
Yeah.
Oh shoot!
They show him at like a hospital, like barely breathing.
What? That's crazy.
Yep. He's been the resilient bastard.
He's thorough. That's why.
Exactly. You gotta, clean up the mess he left.
Confirm the kill.
Mm-hmm. What what do y'all think of what was it, Ratcatcher?
She was terrible.
Man.
I thought she was gonna die. Like I was actually kind of upset they killed Polka Dot Man. Because I feel like his power was
OP.
Right. No. Stole the words right out of my mouth. I was like, oh, yo, he's doing it. He's gonna take down this starfish. And then Starfish steps on him. I'm like, no. How they gonna do it now? The rat can't kill it.
Apparently they did. Ate him alive. Starbo. Ate him alive.
That plot armor.
But I actually like Ratcatcher as a character in general.
Really?
I don't know. It was working for me. The whole Idris Elba being afraid of rats, like that shit was hilarious. It was working for me. And then she had those like real talks with Bloodsport. Where, you kind of got to see like the others. The human side of their characters, like, okay. I was like, all right. That was working for me. It's a weird power in general. I agree with that. Like,
bro,
summoning rats.
I thought you were talking about. Yeah, I mean, it was a little weird, but I mean, it came in handy. as you saw.
They had the weirdest philosophy for it too. She was like, Papa, why rats? And then he's like, oh, because rats are like the lowliest of them all, but even they still have a purpose. Get up out of here with that mess, man.
Everything has a purpose. Preaching.
Oh, man. Ratcatcher 2, not just Ratcatcher, Ratcatcher 2.
Supposedly her pops was like Batman's rival or something. Not rival, but like one of his like nemesis. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. Who would have guessed? Damn.
Like, bro, I can't imagine he would be too difficult to catch.
Right. I hope
all you gotta do is freaking throw a batarang at the device. Bam, you're done. Arkham, bye. Like, come on, bro.
I'm hoping my boy Bruce never struggled. Like, you know how Bruce be struggling with some bad guys? I hope my boy Bruce never struggled with this guy.
That'd be funny to see. Not gonna lie.
You know what's funny too? Gotham is in New York, and then they got like him as one of the villains. And, New York is well known for rats.
Yeah.
They set it up perfectly. It was like destined to be.
Mm-hmm.
You just pull up.
Speaking of Polka Dot Man's death, I feel like Polka Dot Man hella underrated, bro.
Yeah.
Low key, like high key, one of the most like useful people on the team until he got stepped on by a starfish. I was like, damn, that's homie freaking did phenomenal A-list work just to die, squash, like nothing. Like that's messed up.
I kind of hope they introduce him. Right now, I'm on season 3 of The Flash. I'm hoping that they introduce him in one of the seasons because it's like, because he mentioned like how he got his powers from his mom being a scientist at Star Labs and whatnot. And there was a whole situation with Star Labs in The Flash, so I'm hoping they kind of introduce him because like he is underrated. Like that's no P power. Like as corny as it
alien virus, bro. That's when you gotta like you have to expel it.
Yeah.
Puke up and then polka dots. I mean, honestly, when I first saw him, I was like, yo, he's about to be trash.
Facts.
I was pleasantly surprised. Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
And then another good scene is the when Milton dies.
She calls Bloodsport Milton. It's okay. I'll be your friend, Milton. My name's not Milton.
And like Polka Dot Man's like the only one who like even knew that Milton was still with them. And they have like that whole banter, like, "Oh, Milton's dead. Who the hell is Milton?"
Oh shoot!
It's like, damn, they did Milton dirty. But at the same time, it's like, yo, why is Milton still there, bro? Like, he has no powers, no armor, no nothing.
Bro.
Why are you still there, bro?
He's just a bus driver.
It's just yo, Milton asked for that. I'm sorry.
Yeah, for real.
He shouldn't have been there. Like, and again, like, I don't think the humor in this one was forced. Like, everything kind of just, flowed into, everything else, which I like. So, definitely good. Pretty great scenes.
I felt like the first movie was never meant to be funny. And they were like, we need some jokes in this. So they went back and put in some jokes retroactively, which is never good. But I will say I like Will Smith's jokes because they had me rolling. Rewatching that movie, I forgot about them. I was like, oh my God. He was like, yo, I want the best for my daughter. I want her to go to this school, I'm saying, college, Harvard, Ivy League. And if she can't get in, do that white people shit.
That was my favorite part.
White people that shit up, bro. Come on.
He's
man.
like, yo, her grades start falling. Do that white people stuff.
You know how y'all do.
Yo, that's
he's wilder than
that was great.
That's one thing I liked about Will Smith. He'll sneak in a joke or two, and it'll be funny, but you won't even realize that it was a joke. but you're rolling.
It's funny you say that because I think there's been like talks online, people saying that like they don't like the movie or like Deadshot's character because they feel like the movie was tailored to Will Smith. You know what I mean? Like they made it like the Will Smith show. And like
I don't really agree with that.
Yeah, it's like you give the actor, free reign to give them the best performance they can. And I think that's what he did.
Right.
I don't think there was anything like, specifically tailored to him, like just to make his character shine above everyone else.
I would have been like, so what?
I mean, he was probably the most well-known villain and the most well-known actor, so he had to carry it. Like, what do you mean?
I think we already said Amanda Waller, Viola Davis.
Oh, for
Perfect
sure.
casting. Another great casting is Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like, hands down, phenomenal. She did
Question.
great in both.
Is she from Boston?
I know why you asked that, but I don't know. She kind of has that little. She has a little accent. I feel you.
Yeah. She nailed that little Bostonian accent. I'm like, whoa. She made as if Harley Quinn was from South Boston.
She's Australian.
Really? Wow.
I wonder where she grew up. Hold up. Curious now. I guess she grew up on a farm.
I know where this is headed now. I'm kidding.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah. Australia.
Cool.
She did a good job though.
Yes. Well, I do have to say, like, first 2016 version, they kind of relied on. I mean, I'm not complaining, but I'm just saying they relied on a lot of ass shots. Margot Robbie.
Think so? I wasn't even paying attention. Might have to
that-
go rewatch it. No, I'm sorry.
There was that scene when Harley Quinn's getting dressed. Yo, put this on. She's getting undressed and whatnot. And they showing so much body shots. Everybody's staring, and then when she finally gets done, she's looking around at you, like playing it off, like they wasn't looking.
Like, yeah, I'm like, I mean, I get it. There's a lot of people who are, fantasizing about Harley Quinn, and she's supposed to be this like sex symbol or whatever you want to call it.
Sex symbol.
It's like, yeah, it's like, I need to like kind of reel it, take the camera up a little bit. I mean, keep it down just a little low enough, but pull it up a little bit, get the actual story. You know what I mean?
Right.
Nice.
But just something I kind of noticed rewatching it again. Yeah. Okay. What did y'all think about the final battle scenes in both?
Yeah. Great question. Like I said, Enchantress. I can't really get behind her as a villain. She was kind of easily defeated. Like Homie, I like the part where Homie, the fire dude, sacrifices himself and kills the brother. I was like, okay. But Enchantress herself got tricked by Harley Quinn and then like she sliced her open, grabbed her heart, and that was it. I'm not really feeling that. I'm not really feeling that.
It was like too easy.
Whereas in the second one, if we're talking about that whole sequence of events from, Giant Patrick Star coming out, going into town and, taking over people's bodies. And then that whole sequence of events, that was fire. Much more enjoyable for sure. For sure.
How about you, Carl?
I like the 2016 ending, to be honest. Because it's like Enchantress didn't seem much like a threat. So it's just the way they edited it was. She didn't seem like a threat, but she was a threat. If that even makes sense. But I'll try my best to explain. Like, she was. What made her a problem was her brother. So it was like, once they kind of took care of him, it was like, now she's open. You know what I'm saying? And then the only thing that they really needed to get at was her heart.
Right.
Once they got rid of that, once Harley sliced her chest open, pulled out her heart, I mean they pretty much won the fight. You know, that seemed reasonable as compared to like a giant starfish. Because the thing I was trying to ask was, like, I was asking myself was, when they finally broke the glass and got the starfish out, all of a sudden now he's like wreaking havoc, breaking crap, breaking buildings. He got tentacles coming out, grabbing people, ripping them in half. I'm like, yo, where was that same energy when you was chilling in that little basement?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and then I feel like just the way they killed him was just like they were kind of rushing it, you know? Because it was like nobody could get to him. The only person that was able to cause some kind of harm to him, which was Polka Dot Man, boom, killed. And then it's like nobody else is seeing this dude. And then all of a sudden, wait a minute, oh, here's how we kill him. Jump in his eyeball with a spear, and then the rats follow me into the eyeball, eat him from the inside out. Wait a minute. Why didn't we just do that from the jump? So it was just yeah. So I liked the 2016 ending better because it seemed more believable. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
It seemed a little bit more believable. We got throwing a couple bombs at somebody. Reasonable.
I feel
valid.
Yeah. That's a good argument. I'm not going. I mean, I don't know. I feel like following what you just said, though, I feel like the 2016 version isn't believable either. Because Enchantress is supposed to be like this badass, and then all it takes is one slash, grab a heart, and boom.
From Harley Quinn of all people.
Exactly. Like, so you're telling me she fooled you that bad? Is that what you're telling me? Like, but I don't know. Like, and then the whole sequence into the final fight and the 2016 version, it was weird. It was like really dark for whatever reason. Like, I don't understand why. Like, we want to see them fighting, but yeah, it's kind of like you gotta like squint extra hard because everything's so dark. Like, why the hell? Like, I can't see anything. Besides those two things, I mean, it was all right, I guess. 2016 version, 2021 version was just as outlandish as you said. I'm not disagreeing with you, but I feel like it's kind of like something that would happen to the Suicide Squad. You know what I mean? Like you know, you think, all right, I'm just gonna go here to, eradicate some files or whatever, and then when we all get wrapped up with this alien, and pretty much have to fight this alien menace, while destroying everything, just being over the top. That's just what the Suicide Squad is, basically.
Yeah.
So, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the second one a lot more.
Yo, not even to get off topic, that Starfish gave me Invincible vibes.
Okay.
Did it give you guys the same thing with the those like that alien race?
Oh yeah,
from Mars.
Yeah.
Gave me that vibe. I was like, wait a minute, they taking over faces too. It was like the same kind of creature too, like little starfishes. I was like, whoa, that's crazy.
But I think they did do a segment that something like that in animated series from Justice League or something. Remember when? Yeah. So
that's interesting.
So that concept isn't like totally new because I've seen it done before, but I haven't seen it done this way. And I enjoyed it. I'm gonna have to give it to 2021 2021 version for finale.
Word. What about
Yeah.
you, Mike?
Yeah, I'm leaning 2021. It was crazy, over the top. Like, Harley Quinn's carrying around this javelin the whole movie. Literally the whole movie, this javelin. And she's like, "Oh, this is its purpose."
I finally know.
Which is ridiculous. Like, yeah, it's ridiculous.
Oh.
But yeah, I just think from like an entertainment perspective, I enjoyed it more. All right, guys. What are y'all final thoughts on Suicide Squad and the Suicide Squad?
You gotta differentiate, bro. Differentiate.
Go ahead, somebody.
I'll go.
Go ahead, Carl. Go ahead.
They're both good. Like I said, I'd rather the 2016 one better. I did like, however, how they brought back Harley and they brought back Captain Boomerang just to kind of just to die. Right. But like, it gave you that home feeling. Like, okay, this is the Suicide Squad movie. Okay, I am watching Suicide Squad. So it's like they didn't just like throw out a whole new team and didn't bring back like memorable faces.
Right.
So besides that, the movie was cool. I mean, both movies were cool. It would be cool if they continued the series, kind of introduces to more villains, introduces to more, or at least if they don't do another movie, do like a small little series, even if it's animated, just so we can see who else was on Suicide Squad. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like from the comic perspective or whatever. Right. Because I want to see more villain than Ratcatcher. Like, what?
No, bro. Ratcatcher too, bro. Come on.
Shit. But yeah, nah, man. I just hope to see more in the future. Besides that, the 2016 one was good. 2021 one it was good. Like I said, rather the 2016 one better. But yeah, no, they were both good though.
Word.
So final thoughts. 2016 version, I just felt like it was messed with too much. Like you said, it wasn't meant to be funny. And they kind of just like try too hard, and you could tell, kind of just like slept in last minute. I'm definitely not a big fan of that. Plot didn't really have the stakes that made the plot good. Makes sense. No real sense of urgentness in the first one. But I mean, that non-femi was decent to watch. I enjoyed it. I'd watch it again. Probably will.
For sure. I mean, I definitely will watch it again too.
And it's what, PG-13, so it's not like it's not going to be anything crazy. I think if it was a rated R, it might have came out a little different.
Yeah, for sure.
Who knows? But that being said, 2021 version, I felt like that was more of the speed for the Suicide Squad. Like, that's what the movie needed to be. Like, let's be real, they're villains, you know what I mean? They kill people. They're not heroes. So obviously you want to see like them kill people, and you want to see all that happen and all that. So I think it was well done. The substitutions didn't really bothering me too much. Good to see different characters introduced. Honestly, I have to say that whole beat scene, I was kind of expecting something like it. So like, they have this whole huge roster of characters. Like something has to happen.
Mhm.
And here we are, the big scene, and like freaking half the team gets wiped. Team one gets wiped out in an instant. Like that's crazy. I wonder how much they got paid just to die. And like first few minutes of the movie. But yeah, I enjoyed everything from start to finish. Definitely definitely another James Gunn masterpiece. Definitely would watch again. I probably will.
For sure.
Yeah, final thoughts. First thing I'm gonna say is like I enjoyed the rebranding. I like how they weren't like, oh, let's reboot Suicide Squad. But instead they're kind of like, nah, let's just rename the movie title a little bit and continue what we started. Bring in some new characters, a new director, whatever. That being said, there's rumors that there's a David Ayer cut, kind of similar to like the Snyder cut, where it's like a better version of the movie. Supposedly it exists. So, I mean, I would be down to watch it. I just thought of something when you said that it was PG-13, and if it was rated R, we get something different. I believe in the animated movie, there's a scene where Deadshot smashes Harley Quinn.
Word?
You see Carlos' face.
Yo, Harley Quinn smashing everybody, bro.
Yeah.
We love this black scene, bro.
I remember I was watching this one, like, it was like old school, not old school Batman. It was when Dick Grayson is like new to becoming Nightwing.
Yeah.
And like I think like he's fighting Harley and she falls in the trash. But somehow she's able to manage to catch him. And she got him like handcuffed to the bed. I don't know what. I think she starts undressing in front of him because like she's like dirty from the trash and whatnot. And he gets like a boner. And she's like, oh, okay. And she splats. And I was just like, that's kind of nasty.
Yeah.
Like, because it's like she was all still like dirty from like the trash juices all up on her. I was thinking to myself, like, damn, bro, she's smashing anybody, bro.
I wonder if that happens more than once, because I just saw a movie similar to that. It's on HBO Max. What's it called? Harley Quinn and Batman, something like that. Batman and Harley Quinn.
I think that's what it was. I think that's the movie it was.
And then she ties up Robin to the bed. But they kind of insinuated it, but according to the movie, they don't smash. They just hook up. You know what I'm saying? Nothing crazy happens. According to
they splacking, bro. They splacking.
According to Dick Grayson, it didn't go that far.
Okay.
Because Batman was looking at him like, yeah, he's like, bro, I couldn't help it. He's like, I'm gonna help it.
You splacking? Is that what you're doing? You splacking?
He's like, man, you and Catwoman though. Don't judge me.
But
exactly.
But supposedly in the comics, she had a relationship with what's her name? Poison Ivy.
Yeah.
So she, like I said, man, she's splacking anything. If it walking, she's splacking.
They even touched on that in the Harley Quinn animated series.
Yeah. But to bring it back to Suicide Squad real quick. Yeah. So I'd be interested to see a David Ayer cut. If it exists out there, it's done, completed. Put it out. You know what I'm saying? Why not? Put it out. Sure. But I'd probably give Suicide Squad 2021 like a 7. And then I probably give 2016 like a 6, something like that. I don't think one's that much better than the other one. They're pretty equal, but I give like the edge to 2021 just a little bit because I enjoyed those characters better overall.
Word.
But yeah, other than that,
and I
DC
enjoy seeing all of them die. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh,
funny
man.
as hell.
But yeah, like I said, DC is doing this thing right now. All right, Marvel cooled down a little bit. DC's doing this thing, is flexing a little bit. We had Long Halloween, Suicide Squad, and Titan season 3. Fire.
Yeah, check out Titans. You know that's my show.
3 on HBO Max.
How many
endorsement?
How many episodes is in the season? Season 3.
I think it's gonna be 12, but only 3's out right now.
Okay, word.
Bet.
Excited.
That's all I got.
All right, check us out, bro.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is our show. All of us here at Ninja Talk would like to thank you for tuning in to tonight's episode. If you enjoyed the show, make sure to follow us on Twitter at Ninja Talk 3. Follow our Facebook and Instagram pages at Ninja Talk the podcast, and be sure to check out our YouTube channel of the same name, where we'll be posting even more content. Podcast episodes drop every Tuesday on Anchor and Spotify, so make sure you're subscribed to get upload notification. Once again, my name is Mike, and this has been Ninja Talk.